Hi, I'm Ted from Everything Attachments, and we're here with a new attachment from Bradco. This is called the Land Shark. This is actually, instead of just a hydraulic rotary cutter, which it is, it's also a tree cutter. This front edge here will fold up when you get up to a tree, and this will cut up to 7 inches in diameter. This is pretty heavy, but when you get up to a tree, and it'll come up a little further than this, it lets that fold up and lets the blades actually expose past the guards, so you're able to cut up to 7-inch trees. Now the RPMs on this are going to be really high, so it does more of a sawing action instead of just a bush hog type cut, which is going to be very rough. This is a direct drive motor with a planetary, so it's your most durable for the long haul for this extreme work that this has to do. Now this has some unique features. Of course, it has this bar up here to help you keep the tree pushed away from your skid steer. This is going to take 30 to 45 gallons per minute to run. You need a machine with a minimum of 2,200 pounds of operating weight rating, because this alone weighs just a little over 2,000 pounds. On the bottom of it, and we're going to show you some pictures of the underneath of it, it's really unique. It's got 4 blades on it that are rotating, that are swing backs like or what's on a standard rotary cutter. Because they're at such an RPM, they'll be held out a lot better. And then on the bottom of the whole plate system, it uses the same type of carbide tooth that the stump grinder uses. So what you'll do is you'll be able to cut the tree down, and then you'll be able to mulch the stump down to 3/8 of an inch above the ground. So you're able to do 2 things at one time. Even if you're just cutting small stuff down and want to mulch it, you can use the teeth on the bottom to get rid of all the larger debris if you want it mulched up. This thing's got a 1/4-inch deck on it, weighing it over 2,000 pounds. This thing is just a beast. So, and you really need to look at the pictures carefully underneath. You'll notice that every other blade, the sharp edge is on the top of one blade, then it's on the bottom of the next one. That's going to leave you a cleaner cut and an easier cut through 7-inch trees and so forth. So it's got some pretty unique features. So over here on the side, it's got a pretty narrow top to bottom. And that's so you can get down to that 3/8 of an inch to grind those stumps down, and you're not having to leave a really long shaft, which would make it weaker. They're keeping all of the drive as tight as they can, the blade rotating assembly really close, and yet the ends of the stump grinder teeth where they're within 3/8 of an inch of the bottom where you can really grind. Now this is going to cut about 3.5 inches off the ground, and then you would just grind your stump down with the bottom of it to 3/8 of an inch. So it's just built throughout. This whole tube frame here and all that's molded, the way it's built, this Land Shark is really built for an awesome performance and some really rugged terrain. So here at the back, you've got your standard skid steer hitch, and they've put a lot of angle on this where you'll be able to get a little bit of rollback on it, or a lot of rollback, and then still keep it really low to the ground, because this is going to have some slinging debris. You want to keep it as low to the ground as you can, and that's why they put this extra rake on it here, or the extra angle, to where you'll be able to keep the front pitched up without raising the back where you could endanger yourself as an operator. They've put a nice heavy-duty grip step on both sides so you can get in from either machine. Machines are changing their front doors and cabs. Some open from the left, some open from the right, so they've covered you both ways on that. So within this hitch, you can see that it's really heavy-duty. This is got a double brace in it with an extra weld in it, so you're not going to tear out this top with here with what this really will probably be used on mostly is the larger track machines weighing over 10,000 pounds. They've double braced everything about this hitch because this is just an extreme duty piece of equipment for the most demanding conditions. It also has a nice liquid filled pressure gauge on here, so this can work up to 4,000 psi systems, and you're going to be able to tell from your cab or from your operator's seat what pressure you're working at, so you know if you're going to stall the machine or what it's doing. So they put a big, about a 4 or 5 inch gauge on here where you can really see it, and we'll show you a picture of that. It's got some monster size lines on it. These things are huge, looks like 1 inch lines to me. The machine, if you're going to run it for a long period of time, and these new track machines are okay, because they've added a lot of the cooling systems that are going to be needed for continual use of this. A good cooling system is going to be important. Most all of the new track machines that are coming out in the 30 to 45 gallon range will have the proper cooling systems. So this is a pretty neat thing to have. We're glad to finally have a tree cutter at Everything Attachments made by Bradco. If you've got any questions or emails, this is one thing that you need to size properly for the machine you've got for sure. Give us a call or an email, and we'll make sure that you're compatible to run it, and we'll help you with anything you need.